Dive into the chilling world of horror where every shadow holds a tale, every whisper echoes terror. Embrace the fear, unravel the mystery, with the creepiest pastas ever told. Let's delve deeper into the dark abyss of horror as we narrate the spine-chilling tale of the Grinning Man. Imagine, if you will, a lonely road at the dead of night. The only sounds you hear are the crunching of gravel under your feet and the distant hoot of an owl. Suddenly, out of nowhere, a figure appears. Tall, grotesquely thin, and dressed in a dark suit. But the most terrifying feature is the face, or rather, the lack of it. For where there should be eyes, nose, and a mouth, there exists only an unnerving, wide grin that stretches from ear to ear. As the story unfolds, we learn of the Grinning Man's terrifying power to instill paralyzing fear into anyone who crosses his path. With just a single, haunting grin, he drives his victims to the brink of insanity. The story is filled with eerie encounters, close calls, and a relentless pursuit that ends in a terrifying climax. As you listen to his tale, the background visuals will transport you to the scene, with shadowy figures, moonlit roads, and chilling sound effects that will make your blood run cold. A feeling of dread will creep up your spine as the terrifying tale of the Grinning Man comes to life. Brace yourself, for the horror has only just begun. Let's venture further into the heart of darkness, as we unravel the ghastly narrative of the Slender Man. Picture a dense, gloomy forest, the trees standing like silent sentinels under the pallid moonlight. The only sounds that reach your ears are the rustling of leaves and the distant howl of a wolf. Suddenly, a figure materializes from the shadows, inhumanly tall, eerily thin, with elongated arms and dressed in a sharp black suit. The most horrifying feature, however, is the face, or the absence thereof. Where facial features should be, there exists only a blank, stark white face, a void that sends shivers down your spine. As the tale unfurls, we learn of the Slender Man's nightmarish ability to stalk and abduct his unsuspecting victims, primarily children. With just a mere presence, he is able to evoke an indescribable fear that leads his victims towards an inevitable doom. The plot thickens with harrowing encounters, narrow escapes, and a relentless chase that culminates in a blood-curdling climax. As the story is narrated, the accompanying visuals will immerse you into the eerie environment, with shadowy figures, moonlit forests, and spine-chilling sound effects that will leave you on edge. A sense of unease will crawl up your spine as the horrifying tale of the Slender Man takes shape. Prepare yourself, for the dread is far from over. From the cold, faceless terror of the Slender Man, we now descend into the cryptic, primal horror of the Rake. Imagine you're in your home, a place where you should feel safe and secure. It's late at night, and the only light comes from the pale glow of the moon, filtering through your windows. Suddenly, a chilling breeze sweeps through the room, and you hear a faint, unsettling whisper. You turn around and your eyes land on a creature that defies description. It's humanoid, but barely. It's hunched over, its skin as pale as death itself, its eyes glowing with an otherworldly light. Its most terrifying feature, however, is its hands, or rather the long, sharp claws that serve as its fingers. This, dear viewers, is the Rake. As the story unfolds, we learn of its cruel nature, its delight in tormenting its victims with psychological horror before it strikes with physical violence. The narrative takes us through a series of horrifying encounters, sleepless nights, and the constant sense of being watched. The visuals accompanying this tale will only amplify the fear. Shadowy corners, flickering lights, and the terrifying image of the Rake itself. The sounds, the whispers, the creaking of the house, the chilling wind, will make the hairs on the back of your neck stand up. The Rake is a tale that reminds us that sometimes the monsters are not in the woods or in abandoned buildings, but in our very own homes, so brace yourselves, for the terror is not over yet. From the primal horror of the Rake, we now delve into the digital darkness with the Smile Dog. Picture this: you're sitting at your computer scrolling through your emails late at night. You come across an unknown sender with an attachment titled smile.jpg .curiosity piqued. You open it. What greets you is an image that will haunt your dreams. A dog, or rather a hound from hell, its eyes glowing red, its grin wide and ghastly, revealing rows of sharp, bloody teeth. This, dear viewers, is the Smile Dog. As the story goes, the image has a terrifying effect on those who view it. They're plagued with nightmares of the dog, its eerie smile haunting their sleep. It whispers one chilling command: spread the word. The only way to end the nightmares is to forward the image to someone else, making them the next victim. Those who ignore the command are said to meet a grisly end. The visuals that accompany this tale are just as terrifying. The flickering computer screen, the haunting image of the smile dog, the nightmares it induces, the sounds, the soft hum of the computer, the eerie whisper of the command, the heart-pounding terror it brings will leave you on the edge of your seat. Smile Dog is a tale that reminds us that sometimes the monsters are not under our beds or in our closets, but hidden in the depths of the digital world. So, hold on to your seats, for the terror is far from over. From the digital terror of the Smile Dog, we now venture into a tale of monstrosity that's sure to send shivers down your spine. The Eyeless Jack. Picture a quiet night, you're fast asleep in your bed, the moonlight casting long shadows in the room. Suddenly, you're awakened by an odd sound, a soft shuffling like something creeping around. You open your eyes only to come face to face with a figure standing by your bed. It's humanoid, but its face is a chilling sight. A dark hoodie hides most of it, but what truly stands out are the gaping holes where its eyes should be. This, dear viewers, is Eyeless Jack. Jack, as the story goes, has a terrifying habit. He feasts on the organs of his victims while they sleep. The victims wake up with a sharp pain and a missing kidney, only to see Jack disappearing into the night. The visuals that accompany this tale are truly nightmare-inducing. The moonlit room, the looming figure of Eyeless Jack, the horror that follows. The sounds, the soft shuffling, the sharp gasp of realization, the pounding heartbeat, are sure to keep you in a state of high alert. Eyeless Jack is a tale that reminds us that sometimes the real monsters are not in the digital world or in our imaginations, but right beside us in our very homes. So brace yourselves, dear viewers, for the horror is far from over. We emerge from the haunting tale of Eyeless Jack, only to plunge into another horrifying story that's sure to keep you on the edge of your seat, the Red Room. Imagine this. You're surfing the internet late at night, clicking link after link when suddenly, a pop-up window appears. A simple question in stark red letters against a white background. Do you like? Before you can even comprehend what's happening, the question completes itself. Do you like the Red Room? You try to close the window, but it reopens, the question persisting, growing more and more ominous each time. The story tells us that anyone who encounters this pop-up is doomed to meet a gruesome end within a Red Room. The Red Room is said to be a room painted with the victim's own blood, the last sight they see before their life is snuffed out. The visuals that accompany this tale are truly spine-chilling. The persistent pop-up, the slow realization of impending doom, the final terrifying sight of the Red Room. The sounds, the clicking of the mouse, the eerie silence that follows the pop-up, the heart-stopping crescendo of fear, are sure to make your blood run cold. The Red Room is a tale that reminds us that sometimes the most terrifying horrors are not physical monsters, but digital demons lurking in the corners of the internet. So prepare yourselves, dear viewers, for the terror is far from over. Emerging from the blood-soaked horror of the Red Room, we now delve into a tale that's sure to send chills down your spine, the Black-Eyed Children. Picture this. It's a quiet night and you're home alone. Suddenly there's a knock at the door. Standing outside are two children, their faces obscured by the darkness. They ask to be let in, their voices monotone, their words strangely adult. You feel a sense of dread, but you can't quite put your finger on why. Then they look up and you see it, their eyes black, entirely black. No whites, no irises, just an endless void of darkness. The story goes that these are the Black-Eyed Children, supernatural creatures who appear at your doorstep, asking for permission to enter your home. They can't come in unless invited, but once they are, terrible things happen. No one knows what exactly, for no one has lived to tell the tale. The visuals that accompany this tale are truly terrifying. The quiet night, the unexpected visitors, the chilling revelation of their black eyes, the sounds, the knock at the door, the monotone voices, the deafening silence that follows, will leave you in a cold sweat. The Black-Eyed Children is a tale that warns us that not all monsters are grotesque. Some wear the faces of innocence, their true horror hidden until it's too late. Brace yourselves, dear viewers, for the terror is far from over. From the haunting abyss of the Black-Eyed Children, we now step into the obscure world of the Shadow People. Picture this. You're in your room, the only light coming from the faint glow of your night lamp. Out of the corner of your eye, you spot a fleeting movement. You turn, but there's nothing there. You shrug it off as your imagination, but the feeling of being watched persists. When you finally spot it, it's too late. A dark, human-like figure, devoid of any features, lurking just at the edge of your vision. The Shadow People. They exist in the periphery, never fully visible, but their presence is always felt. The stories vary. Some say they're harmless observers from another realm, others claim they're malevolent entities feeding off our fear. Regardless of their intent, their appearance is always a harbinger of dread. Visualize the scene, the dimly lit room, the flickering shadows, the sudden movement that you can't quite catch. The sounds, the quiet rustle, the soft creaking of the floorboards, your own heartbeat echoing in your ears, they all contribute to a chilling atmosphere that will leave you questioning your own senses. The Shadow People is a tale that reminds us that fear often lurks in the unseen, in the corners of our vision, in the shadows we dismiss. Are you ready for the next tale, dear viewers? Because the terror is far from over. Leaving the elusive Shadow People behind, we now delve into the horrifying world of the Skinwalker. Picture this: a lonely road, surrounded by dense, dark woods, an eerie silence enveloping the area. As you're driving, a figure suddenly appears. At first glance it's an animal, but as it stands on its hind legs you realize something is terribly wrong. This is not your ordinary creature, but a Skinwalker, a being of Native American folklore that has the power to shapeshift into any animal it desires. The Skinwalker is said to be a witch, a person who has gained ultimate power, but at a terrible cost: the lives of their loved ones. As you watch in horror, it morphs, its body contorting unnaturally as it takes on a new form. The sight is enough to send chills down your spine and make the hair on the back of your neck stand up. Visualize the scene, the desolate road, the ominous woods, the grotesque transformation, the sounds, the rustling of leaves, the eerie howls, your own breath hitching in your throat. They all add to the terrifying atmosphere. The Skinwalker is a tale that reminds us that some powers come at a price too horrific to imagine. Buckle up, dear viewers, as we journey further into the realm of terror. From the chilling tales of the Skinwalker, we now venture into a narrative that is equally, if not more, unnerving. The tale of the Goatman. Picture a rustic bridge tucked away in the wilderness, shrouded by an unsettling quietness. It's called the Goatman's Bridge, an eerie landmark with a backstory that will make your skin crawl. Legend tells of a half-man, half-goat creature that lurks in the shadows, a malevolent entity known for its haunting cries and glowing, menacing eyes. It is said to be the tormented spirit of a goat farmer who met a tragic end, his spirit merging with that of his beloved goats. The Goatman is known to stalk the bridge and its surrounding woods, preying on those who dare to cross his path after sunset. Now imagine the scene: the dilapidated bridge, the dark looming trees, the chilling cries echoing in the distance. The visuals, the flickering shadows, the sudden flash of glowing eyes, your own trembling hands, all contribute to the heart-stopping horror. The Goatman is a story that reminds us that sometimes the most terrifying creatures are not those of fantasy, but those born from the darkest corners of human cruelty. Hold on tight, dear viewers, as we plunge deeper into the abyss of the unknown. From the spine-tingling tale of the Goatman, we now delve into an equally horrifying narrative: the saga of the Mothman. Picture a quiet, desolate town, Point Pleasant, West Virginia, in the late 1960s. A series of strange sightings unsettle the town's residents. They speak of a creature with piercing red eyes and massive wings that span 2 meters wide. It's no bird, no known creature. It's the Mothman. The Mothman, as the locals dubbed it, became infamous for its eerie appearances, often forewarning of impending disasters. The most notable was the collapse of the Silver Bridge, taking the lives of 46 people, an event that was predated by numerous Mothman sightings. Imagine the scene: the quiet town, the sudden fluttering of massive wings, the shrill cry piercing the silence. The visuals: the flash of red eyes in the darkness, the silhouette of a massive figure against the moonlit sky, your heart pounding in your chest, all add to the terror of the tale. The Mothman is a story that reminds us that fear often lies in the unknown, in the shadows of our understanding. Brace yourselves, dear viewers, as we continue our journey into the chilling realms of the unexplained. As we leave the eerie epic of the Mothman behind us, we journey further into the depths of the unknown, to the Pine Barrens of southern New Jersey. Here we uncover the chilling tale of the Jersey Devil. This creature, born of folklore and fear, has haunted the region for centuries. The story begins with a dire prophecy. A woman, known as Mother Leeds, pregnant with her 13th child, cursed it to be a devil. As the tale goes, on a stormy night, amidst thunder and lightning, the child was born. But it was no ordinary child. It transformed into a grotesque creature with hooves, a goat's head, bat wings, and a forked tail. The Jersey Devil was born. Let your imagination paint the horrifying picture. The dark, dense forest, the hollow howl of the wind, the rustling of leaves, a sudden chilling cry echoes through the night, the flash of a grotesque figure in the moonlight, a silhouette that brings terror to those who dare to venture into the pine barrens. Hear your heart pounding, feel the cold sweat trickling down your spine as you envision the horrific sight. The Jersey Devil is a tale that warns us of the dangers lurking in the dark, waiting to be discovered. Hold on to your seats, dear viewers, as we plunge further into the terrifying tales of the unknown. Leaving the frightful forests of New Jersey behind, we now cross the Atlantic and delve into the cold, brutal past of Soviet-era Russia. We find ourselves in the shadowy world of the Russian sleep experiment. This legendary tale is not for the faint of heart. The story begins with a secret military experiment. 5 political prisoners are chosen as subjects, locked in a sealed environment and exposed to a gas that prevents sleep. Their only contact with the outside world is through a one-way mirror. The first few days are uneventful, but as time passes, the subject's sanity begins to crumble. Paranoia sets in, and they become increasingly violent and deranged. By the 15th day, the chamber is opened, revealing a scene of unimaginable horror. The subjects have mutilated themselves and each other in a desperate attempt to stay awake, driven mad by the forced insomnia. The chilling climax of the story reveals a terrifying truth. The subjects, now more monstrous than human, no longer desire sleep, but crave the madness that the experiment has unleashed. Imagine the horror, dear viewers, of being trapped in a world where sleep is forbidden, where the boundaries of sanity are shattered, and where the human mind descends into a nightmarish abyss. Brace yourselves, for the next tale of terror awaits. From the chilling experiments of Soviet Russia, we now venture into the realm of the modern myth, the urban legend that is, the NoEnd house. This is not your typical haunted house, dear viewers. Its terror lies not in ghosts or ghouls, but in the psychological torment it inflicts on those who dare to enter. The story begins with an invitation, a challenge even, to spend a night in the house for a prize of $500. But the house, with its 9 rooms, is not what it seems. Each room presents a progressively horrifying scenario, designed to exploit the deepest fears and darkest secrets of its occupants. The first room might be unsettling, the second unnerving, but as you progress, the rooms become personal. The horrors within reflecting your own past, your own guilt, your own nightmares. People disappear within its walls, lost forever to the escalating terror. The truly terrifying part? There is no end. Each door leads to another room, each more horrifying than the last. The house feeds on fear, twisting reality until you can no longer trust your senses. The NoEnd house is not just a place, it is a living nightmare, a relentless tormentor. Remember, dear viewers, not all monsters lurk in the shadows. Some reside within our own minds, waiting for the opportunity to escape. Stay with us if you dare, as we venture further into the realm of the unknown. Leaving behind the relentless torment of the NoEnd house, we delve into the sinister depths of nature with our next tale. Welcome, dear viewers, to the Stairs in the Woods. These are no ordinary stairs, but remnants of something unexplainable, something that defies logic and reasoning. They stand tall and sturdy, seemingly untouched by the ravages of time or nature in the middle of the wilderness, leading to nowhere. They range from modern to antique, concrete to wooden, but they all share one common trait. They are out of place. Our journey begins with a park ranger's accounts. He warns his team never to touch these staircases, for those who have ventured close report strange phenomena. An eerie silence, the sudden disappearance of wildlife sounds, and a chilling sense of dread that envelops them. Some have even reported hearing whispers or seeing apparitions. But the truly terrifying tales involve those who dared to ascend the stairs. Stories of time distortions, of people missing for hours only to return minutes later according to their watches, are common. Some speak of hallucinations, of visions of loved ones beckoning them from the top, while others talk of an unseen force that pushes them to climb. The most bone-chilling accounts, however, are of those who never returned, swallowed whole by the mysterious stairs. Theories abound about these stairs. Are they gateways to another dimension, remnants of a forgotten civilization, or a supernatural entity preying on the curious? Whatever they are, one thing is clear: they are best left alone. Remember, dear viewers, not all mysteries are meant to be solved, and sometimes the most terrifying things are those that we cannot comprehend. Stay tuned as we journey further into the depths of the unknown.